bowels of One Half Radio Plaza at Life Media Studios.
Hello, folks. Welcome back to Real Country Radio.
Congratulations, Detroit. You can be thoroughly ashamed of yourself. The homicide tool has reached a nice even 750. Details on the latest leveling from Police Sergeant.
Coming up now, we're going to start off the set with...
In the morning.
Bucketblutt's Tigers could use this guy's talent.
Have you had time to get ready?
I don't waste any time getting ready. I stay ready.
Holy smokes, look at all these guys. Do you even speak English anymore? Or did you learn a new language?
Yeah.
Just
Nothing?
Beepity beep.
Yeah, beep.
Oh, man. Dutch is now the new language of pulling. And we've got people who are found out, didn't you?
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
The people were great. The venue was great. Everything was just unbelievable.
Well, that's it. That's all you got to say. All right. Thank you. Thank you for joining Sidetrack.
You
Have a great night. Glad to hear from you. No, like, what happened there?
Like, I literally was walking around that place saying there is no words to explain how we're feeling right now.
It was like an out-of-body experience.
Yeah.
It was.
It was. And so many people said, "Oh, thank you for coming to our little country." And I said, "Well, you know, we were honored to be invited." "No, we're honored to have you in our little country." It was just unbelievable the way that they all just came and visited, and just there was people in the tent almost constantly visiting and saying hello. And we wanted to go to some of the other pullers' trailers and things, and we couldn't get away, so they came to us.
Yeah, they
which
came
was
to
really
us.
nice.
You guys were certainly invited to be a part of this deal, to go over to Mata and make something happen. And I'm curious about the rest of the story. Like, you go there to pull, but what are they asking of you? Did you get to tour anything? What was the tourist part like? You know, did you get to have some fun in addition to going and competing?
It was, of course, it was a whirlwind tour. But this Eric Van Oster, who was simply amazing. He was their contact person and the announcer over there, and I don't know where he gets his energy from. But he had everything lined up. One night we took a bus ride up to Boris' shop, and we toured that and had a couple, and we just every day we were busy doing something to see. But then the girls were going to try to go to Amsterdam on the train. Well, that was another story. The train never left.
Yeah, the train broke down, and after 2.5 hours, they got us off the train.
But the first day we went into Mata, and we went right to the track, and our container wasn't there yet. It's kind of surprised. They said, no, it's coming Wednesday. So we walked in, and Adams, I think, got pictures of it. We were just blown away with this place. All the workers, they got 60 volunteers setting this place up. What they set up, considering it was just a farmer's pasture before the event, it was incredible. But we had stayed a short distance from the track at a bed and breakfast, which I can't pronounce the name of it. I don't know if you can, Madam, but I can.
No.
Our hosts there, Gerald and Jerry, they were simply amazing.
Yep. Breakfast was fantastic.
They had the pods and the tents outside for the gang, and it was like big base camp. And they had Mary and I in a chalet inside with Hans Boxler's mom, and some of those girls were inside of that. So that was kind of our headquarters off the track.
That was great.
But we toured his farm, Eric's farm, and he's got a dairy farm, about 95 cows. And he makes cheese and ice cream. And we seen the first automatic ice cream vending machine, which was super cool. I want one in the shop.
That was cool.
Yeah.
You scan your card or your Apple Pay, the waffle cone comes over, comes down, goes up, fills it with the perfect amount of ice cream, drops it down, take it.
Yeah.
It was,
That was legit.
I mean, they got
And all natural milk from his farm.
Yeah. He dumps the milk in, he dumps the mix in, and it makes the ice cream
Yeah.
right there in the machine.
Wow.
The tour of his farm was very interesting. I mean, as you guys all know, it's pretty tough to make a living on 95 head. And he's doing it right by diversifying the way he has. His neighbors also have spaces for the vending machines. So they don't have to have the cheese, what would you call it, store open all the time. And they sell vanilla milk and chocolate milk, and they have eggs there, and they have lots of other farm products there that his neighbors can also sell from these vending machines. So it's kind of like multi-purpose, that part of it. But the farm was very interesting. We toured around some of the nearby towns. The guys didn't take the time to leave. Leave the pulling venue.
Once the container got there, we were pretty much busy. But like she said, we were thinking we were going to have a lot of time to go to the pits and look at some tractors that we admired from over here for years. And the tent that they gave us was, I don't know how big it was, but it was a fairly, I know Adam's got pictures, but real big tent. They outfitted it. It was a wooden floor, and
we had some couches
and chairs and tables, and our own porta potty between the container and the tent. And they wheeled in a big cooler and filled it with water, soda, and beer. And we made them refill it a few times, and not with water.
A few?
Yeah.
We used to go out daily. There was another call for emergency beer.
But the people, I mean, it was right, our tent was right on the main walkway, and oh my gosh. I know of people I visited with from at least 13 countries. Maybe more.
Wow.
Yeah.
Them are the ones I can remember. I mean, far away is Australia. We had a young, 3 guys from Australia stop the beer and bullshit pulling team over in Australia. They run a little small block mini, and they're trying to get things going over there. Interesting, very interesting.
Everybody.
You know, I wouldn't mind going to Australia if they sent a container up here. We could fill it. But we ran into some old friends that we met when we were with Joe Ader, when we went to the indoor, what was that? Ahoy. The indoor pool, which they don't do anymore. But we ran into, you know, it's like, you really look familiar, and it ended up being that we had met them several years ago. Caught up with a lot of people that we had seen since then. And as far as the pulling, I mean, it's unbelievable how fast it takes. 2 minutes to cover the track, 2 minutes to uncover the track. And I believe they were at a total of 15 or more times that they covered and uncovered the track.
Yeah.
3 days of pulling. And that does not happen anywhere in the U.S. that I've ever seen. So they make it happen. And it was definitely between raindrops. Those people are amazing at the way they make
we should take notes.
Well, like I was telling the guys yesterday, I mean, even with the threat of rain at 60 to 70% of rain, they still sold out on Saturday.
And Friday night had to be damn near capacity.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you get that around here, you're looking at quarter capacity stands.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
They sold out. If it started raining, everybody went to the DJ tent, grabbed more beers, and waited for the song to start playing. As soon as the song started playing, they all came back. And
we kept asking about the rain threat, and from the time we left here, the time we got there, then some, and they're like, "Oh no, you Americans worry too much."
He was right.
He was right.
Yeah.
They got the whole show in, I think.
Yeah.
You know, they did do floating finish on Friday because they were concerned that they'd have to quit early. So, but people never left. And then the after party is something that you can only imagine. Unless you see it, you would not believe it. And
I mean, the big tent's got to be 200 feet wide by 400 or 500 feet.
Yeah, as I said, they said it was held 6,000 people. There was 8,000 if there was no one.
Yeah, just massive.
I mean, when we left, it was almost 2 o'clock in the morning, so they tell me.
Yeah.
And it was still, we were outside. We couldn't even get in.
Well, my son asked me if I wanted to go in and check it out, and I said, yeah, I do. And the two of us, if you go any more than two people together, you're going to get lost. You're going to lose each other anyway. So I followed him in, and we went dancing down through and got toward the center. And it's like, oh my God, I remember this from wandering around in the holding area when I was milking cows. It got warm in a hurry. There was so many people in there. Everybody's dancing and having fun. They go from techno to 80s, and then you're hearing 80s, American 80s, and you're hearing a song that you know from, the 80s, and it's in a different language, but it's the same exact song.
This is the thing. There was all them people, and there was two of these tents going on. Yeah. And all them people, I did not see one policeman.
No.
Not one. No fights.
Nope.
No nothing. Everybody was dancing around drunk. But, they were just some of the happiest people I've ever seen in one place in my life.
Yep.
Unbelievable.
And to be packed in such close quarters and not have any pushing and shoving or any of
and
that.
And we can't even get that at Langford, our own hometown poll we get with the Erie County Sheriff's Force there.
Yeah.
And they gave up on the jamboree for just that reason. It was just too many people causing too much trouble. But, you go dancing through there, and all of a sudden somebody grabs you, and you do a couple do-si-dos and on to the next, and you're through the place. It's just the whole thing is an unbelievable experience.
They have a custom of throwing beer. I don't get that, but there's guys walking in with like 16. They were selling the Ulipers 12-ounce plastic cups on draft, and they big, huge barrels of beer. And everybody's carrying them in 12 at a time, and they're just getting in there and just partying and throwing the beer. And she comes out and says, "I got beer spilled on my head by this guy taller than you." I said, "You really think you're going in there?"
Yeah. I'm not very tall, so I'm in there like, there was some, I swear some of these guys were close to 6'9", 6'10". They were tall people.
Quite
sized.
Quite experience.
Me-sized.
Yes. And, the officials in the hot pits lining us up, and all the other officials, the flag guys, and they, some of them didn't speak very good English. But everybody was smiling, and everybody was the starter flag guy.
Yeah.
He could speak English, and he says, "This is how I do it. Does that work for you?" And I'm like, "Yep, I'm used to that. That'll be, I'll understand that."
Very well run event. Period.
That's something that's actually a little bit unique that I see. Their starting flag person is really close to you.
Yes.
And they're not out at 100 feet like we do over here.
Right.
They're throwing down. That's a little bit different that I see.
Yes, that's true. I know a lot of times at a Jim Miller poll, Jim will be right there and he'll tell you to tighten the chain or whatever, and then he'll make sure your helmet's down, and usually he checks safety. Then he walks away, and the flag guy is still out there.
Right.
This flag guy over there was checking the safety and being right there, backing you up and stopping you and tightening the chain and all that. You're right. That is usually the flag guy that does that. But
Richard, that's something that you do. I've seen you do it. You pay attention to that. That's a part of your procedure for your organization as well.
Yes, I'm at the starting line, checking make sure we're in the right hitch, all that type of stuff, making sure safety equipment's on, and then I turn it loose to my flagman. Of course, in the Winter Nationals, I'm on the track with the flag and watching all that stuff also, too.
Yep.
I've been on the flag before, too.
Overall, just a very well run event.
Yep.
So I had two thoughts of one, what's the spectators like different? When you go to a poll in the States and the spectators are sitting there asking questions compared to everybody over there. What's that? I'm sure it's way different over there than it is here.
It sure appears to be way different. The energy level is really high. Friday night when we went on the track, they told Mary around the front grandstand, or if you will, the first track grandstand. And the announcers, we got some of the best announcers ever over here, but them guys over there, that Eric and crew, they bring so much energy all the time with the music and jumping around, and it's quite unbelievable.
Yeah.
But the fans, they're really, I think we visit with fans all over the country when we go out, but they come over and they're just, I think they're real happy. You'll just talk to them, number one. But there are a lot of questions, a lot of good questions, but it don't seem like they sit down much during that poll. I mean, they're on their feet all the time.
With the exception of Bowling Green, where everybody stands down in that front area below the bleachers.
Yeah.
You never see people stand the way these people stood through the whole thing. Some of them never sat down.
When we pulled out of track Friday night, going down toward the announcer, then he stops us and a couple questions for the crowd. It was like electric when we pulled in there. And it was, I mean, I had just watery eyes going down through. It was just, I was blown away. And then we went, after she put down her exhibition poll on Friday night, they were just crazy. I mean, it was a ho-hum run. It was our first run on our motor. We just set it up lazy, ho-hum. She gets the end. Well, that was about ho-hum. Well, that's what we wanted. So we go down, left the announcer. We come around the other side, going down through. And here's this young guy holding a cup of beer out like this. And I just took the wheeler, went like that, grabbed it right out of his hand. I wish somebody had that video, because that was like the biggest highlight, I think, of going on and off the track.
Never mind.
Hopefully it makes it in. Hopefully, it makes it into the after video.
Oh yeah, because it was amazing. It was like, first of all, that beer was well timed. But it was something I'll remember probably for the rest of my life. That just kind of tells you what the fans are like.
A lot of their questions were the same as the questions we get here.
Yeah.
Pretty technical, and they appreciated the way everything was put together neatly, and they really the technical aspects they can appreciate that and comment on that quite a bit, which we get the same comments in the US. I think question wise, a lot of it was the same type of questions from fans throughout the weekend.
We had an enormous amount of other pollers there coming to visit.
Yeah,
quite a few.
Usually that doesn't happen at a poll. Everybody's busy doing their own thing.
I mean, one of the guys, when we were on the track, they came by, a polling team that was there, came back, and we talked to it. I don't remember the tractor name. They brought us back a nice frame picture of his tractor and a T-shirt, and asked the gals if they give it to Mary and I when we got back. I mean, that was pretty cool.
Yeah. It was.
But very appreciative of them.
It was, yeah. We put some.
I'm kind of curious about and you guys can, and now that you've seen it, can understand what this is. What's the geography like? Did they travel a lot to get to events, or is it like here, or how does that stack up? Is it 300 miles to go to a poll, or is it what's it like?
It can be.
There was a lot of them, and like I said, I visited with 13 countries that were there, but the pollers seem to be from Denmark, Belgium, Netherlands, Germany. So some of them do travel quite a bit.
Sweden. It was the Euro Cup, so they were coming from all over Europe. Right. Now we were told that maybe things have changed now, but I almost thought it was Sweden or one of those countries. They have to drive, they have to get on the ferry with the truck and trailer. And of course, the trucks and trailers are smaller because the roads are more narrow.
Yeah, eyes on the road, right?
The trailer size. I was talking to somebody and I said, we've got a 3/4 ton dually with a 50-foot trailer. And the guy was like, what? A 50-foot trailer? 26, I believe, is the length of their trailer.
Yeah.
So this prohibits them having side-by-sides because they don't have enough space to get everything in. Yeah. So everybody's got maybe a child-sized four-wheeler seems to be very common with some sort of a little trailer behind. We were the only ones with a side-by-side. I know that for a fact.
Well,
no, they had four-wheelers, small four-wheelers.
Yeah.
Small four-wheelers with trailers. Nobody else had a side-by-side. And so they're pulling, the rigs that they arrive in are smaller and shorter. But some of them do have to come as many hours. I don't know miles, if it's miles.
Yeah, I don't know miles.
Because the roads are narrower, and I think the travel tends to be slower in some areas.
Yeah.
But
most I heard was like 18 hours away.
Right.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
The Netherlands is very small. They travel between, which we noticed when we went with Joe Ader. They travel between the countries like we travel between the states.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
And, you know, so they're used to traveling as many hours as we travel to get out west.
So the 110-foot bumper-to-bumper toter, that's not a thing over there.
No.
You can't make the driveway into Mata with one of those.
No.
When they got there with the container, they pulled up, and
I wonder if
I'm like, how are they ever going to get that in there? Well, the truck gets up there. The guy gets out, plugs a remote into the back of the trailer, steer axles on the back of the trailer.
Yep.
And they backed it right in parallel with our tent. Another guy got up on the front with another short semi with a crane, and they set that thing off just like they did it every day. But I said, how the hell are they ever going to get in?
Yeah.
So what I'm hearing is check your arrogance, guys, because they really do it very good.
They do.
And we can learn from them.
Yes.
Like,
I'm
check your arrogance.
Yeah.
Because they do it well.
Officials.
I'm going to be very careful not to step on anything, but the whole organization over there, the NTTO, was in our tent every single day. The president, the vice president,
numerous members.
They were on the track. They were visible,
talking to
everybody,
people everywhere.
You know, and talking to them because they wanted to talk to them. And I mean, just everything it took to run that thing was, and not just us. I mean, they were around with all the pullers in the pits, and
yes.
Here you got the president of NTTO out in the pits with a clipboard and running around team to team, and
very involved.
You said it right. I mean, check your arrogance, because we got a lot to learn from them guys over there.
Yeah.
I mean, one of the big things that I noticed, and we all noticed it as well, is like their scraper, roller tractors, their towback drivers all work for NTTO.
Yes.
They are hired and they get paid to do that job all year long.
Yep.
So you don't have, and there's nothing against guys from
right,
the fire departments and everything like that. Again, it's a totally different thing, but that's what they are hired to do. They are professionals. The tracks were very, very well taken care of from start to finish. The towback tractors, if something happened, you know, they weren't cruising in granny gear going down the track. They're doing 25 miles down the track to get the tractor, pick it up, take it off. There's scraper tractors following him off the track doing 20 miles an hour. And it is a well-oiled machine.
It is.
That it was so executed. It was so perfected.
Yeah.
I would say, I mean, for me personally, from my standpoint, in running an organization for a couple years and being around it, paying attention to different things, my advice would be for a promoter to go out there, watch the show, and take notes.
Yeah.
And not to, you know, and it's not to say that they're going to change everything, you know. You can't change everything overnight, and I totally get that. But there's things that we can learn from them, and there's things that they could probably come over here and learn from us as well.
Yes.
So it's not so much like, oh, they're doing that, and we're not so-called accusing or whatever. You know what I mean? But we can learn off of each other.
Yes.
And my advice would be, if you want to go see a really damn good show, but pay attention to what they're doing, because they do it very well. Even just as simple as covering a track and uncovering a track. I mean, to cover and uncover 3 tracks in 3 to 4 minutes, and then be pulling after a 30-minute downpour in 10 minutes, that's impressive.
Like Mary said it. She says, "This was at home. We'd be driving home."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Done numerous. And they keep it proud, but it's a different culture.
Yeah.
The culture is totally different. The people are different. And this event is not only a tractor pull, but it's also a social event for everybody in nearby communities. And that isn't maybe can't be said for tractor pulls, because there's so many other things happening that people find other things to do.
Yeah.
And as we all know, by the time they get to the last couple of classes, there's not full stands anymore.
Right.
It just happens.
Yeah.
But
Yep.
From what another thing that I've learned is they took a tractor pull in a concert for the most part, put them together.
Yeah.
They're doing something that I think a lot of the American promoters are afraid to do because they're going to lose a crowd to a concert, or the concert's going to lose a crowd to a tractor pull, vice versa.
Yes.
Dude, it freaking worked.
Yeah.
They were not afraid to try it. And I was talking to Ryan last night. I was like, I wonder what it was like the first 5 years out of the gate. Like, how was the expansion? How was the evolution from 1993 to 2000, from 2000 to 2010? Like, what was that growth like? What were their growing pains? And we never got a chance to sit down and really talk to them and really nitpick what they were doing. And it was just cool to see, just sit and watch, and just for me, walking around the pits like a kid in a candy store, looking at every vehicle like I was there for the first time. I equate it to the movie, was it Big or Up, where the squirrel runs across and the dog's like, squirrel, as soon as somebody pulled in, I was just gone to the next one, and just, it was absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
And back to the technology. I mean, the light mod class isn't just same thing.
Many different
There is
things.
such a huge variety of what they have. And
Allison, Rolls Royce, rotary, turbocharged, supercharged,
The one tractor got it was built 37 or 47 years
Oh,
ago.
the one track they run over, Dingo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chance to talk to an older gentleman, and
He's 85.
Pulled it for 37 years. And
What?
It's just crazy. And you look at the tractor, not to take anything away from it, but it looks like, what are you gonna do with that? When Green Monster comes out, it's like, But then
It's
Dingo walked
shine.
everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, it's incredible.
And you see that through all of the classes. Mini is a mini, but there's a variety of minis there too, with different engines and different things.
Yeah, the one had like an Allison cut in half.
Yeah.
So they were only using 6 cylinders of an Allison in a mini class.
Yeah.
So I went over there. I'm like, "What motor is this?" He's like, "It's an Allison." I'm like, "Kidding me, right?"
Where's photo, video? What?
Yeah.
I have photos of it. So they cut an Allison pretty much down this, right in the middle somehow. And he's like, "Yeah, go look in there." And I like literally looked, and there was the jugs on the other side for the other 6 cylinders that were like welded over.
Right.
They were just sealed off. He's like, "Yeah, that's the bad part about it. We have the weight of the block,
right?
But it works."
Yeah.
It's like, what in the heck? Like, and even as far as what the tractors are, I think a lot of the technology and stuff like that, they're just like, our guys are just V8s, some different stuff here and there, but they're just afraid to try it, or they're just going with what works. They don't.
So they were doing an i6. They were doing an i6, not a V6.
Yeah.
Yes, they took it in an inline.
Yeah.
Geigers have done this with a modified in Outlaws, and I don't know if they're still doing it, but there is a counterpart to this here domestically, and it's wild. Would love to see more of this sort of thing go on. And I mean Allison, because Allison, like,
because it's an Allison.
I lose my damn mind over Allison.
1710.
Well, and some of that too could just be the availability of what they have access to for engine, over their combinations. Whereas in here, it's harder to find some of that stuff. So
I mean, they have tank engines. They have, just all kinds.
And it's just not throwing money at something. It's really
and they run. It's not like they go out on the track and fall on their face.
Right.
They freaking run. I mean, I don't know how long it took them to get it to run, but they do run, and that's impressive.
We can allow EFI and
right.
I can see Richard's face. He's like, what the hell? Did you just say that? Yeah, I did.
And they have it.
Zach's over there just shaking his head.
They have it. It's pretty damn impressive.
It is.
they're just not afraid to try it, and they're not afraid to take it to that next level. And that was one of my biggest things that I took away from it, is just the diversity of pullers from all over the world in that section of the world. And then they just do so many different things. I mean, you have 5-6 different engine combinations running with a V8 compared to here. Mostly it's just V8, a couple of Allisons sprinkled in, and some turbines sprinkled in as well. So yeah, it's
And
very impressive.
Pullers will stop and drop everything and talk to you.
Yes.
Everyone.
Yep.
Pretty crazy.
I mean, I got to meet some of the guys that I talked to on Facebook quite a bit, like the Gators tractors, the Whispering Giant. I mean, just it's pretty crazy. I mean, and then just getting to meet the photographers over there that
it's another Kevin Trump from Poland World. And everybody was big presence in our
just amazing. I mean, I couldn't believe how many people walked up and said, "Holy cow, we follow your page and stuff like that. We really appreciate everything you're doing." I was like, my God, really? Right now?
Just so many. I mean, I have gotten so many messages on social media from everybody over there. And we got a mom took a picture of the kid in the seat, daughter in the seat, and she messaged me and with the picture, wanting to know if it was okay if your daughter wanted to put it up in her room. And it's like, sure, it's your picture, put it up,
Yeah.
So
that's awesome.
I can't tell you. I don't know how many messages I've got. I'm still getting them.
Yeah.
Crazy.
And the kids were they were kind of surprised when I asked them if they wanted to sit in the tractor. They were like, what? I can do that?
Yeah.
And once it kind of got started, then the word went around.
I think so.
And they were kind of expecting it. But I guess maybe that they don't do that well.
We do that everywhere we go. I mean, that's just our thing.
Yeah.
See, maybe that's one of the things that Europe can learn from us, because I think that as a whole, American pulling teams do that a lot.
Yeah, that's what Eric said. He said he was blown away by that. He thought that was cool.
Yeah.
We went to Tampico this weekend, and the amount of kids that came up to the tractor and wanted to sit in it just baffled me. Anywhere we've been, it just was amazing. The kids that come up want to sit in the tractor seat, this weekend down there. And
the cards, I think all of our hero cards. Oh my God! I think I took 1,800 over. I think I brought 5 home.
Holy shit!
But we look at it as promoting the future of the sport, because the kids, and especially at this place, if they didn't have seats and they were standing in the crowd, I, as a short person, know you can't see a damn thing. So what is interesting for the kids? Not much.
Right.
But if they got to sit in the tractor, well, maybe that'll keep their interest for a little bit longer. I don't know.
Yeah, you never know. We're all about promoting and everything, and it's like we're not going to be able to that often. But they may be. Kids, you never know.
Yeah.
We can keep talking about the European trip, and I want to do that, but I also want to be respectful of our other guests tonight, and give them some time here. Zach and Richard, you guys have something that's coming, and I want to give you equal time as well, and see what's cooking with IPL and what you got coming here in July.
Well, we kicked the season off at the beginning of the month with a brand new pull up at Napanee, and it went really well. Nice facility. Track was a little dry. Was a warm night. We can work on things like that. The next night, well, we had a mist about all night, so we fought some misty conditions. We could have used those guys with their track covering the track there, definitely. That would have been great. The next weekend, we went to Idaville, which they're starting their 75th year of pulling at Idaville, Indiana.
That's impressive.
Huge.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That is huge.
Where's that town? 100 people?
Town of like 250 people. you start to pull at 6 o'clock, you look in the stands and you go, wow, this is disappointing. And a half hour later, you look up and you go, there's 3,000, 3,500 people here lying down between both sides. And it's where they come from. It doesn't matter.
So between that show, Tampico, Langford, Armada, Michigan, like that's got to be top 5 oldest polls continuous. Gotta be.
Alan Washburn looked at me that night of
Mount City or McLeod, Kansas. They've been going for 55 years or something too, so they're kind of in that group as well.
Yeah.
Alan Washburn's done Idaville, the last 2 years?
Yes.
And he looked at me up there that night and he goes, we ain't got a crowd tonight. And by the time the green flag dropped, he looked at me and goes, I don't know where this came from. He goes, I'm 100 mile or 60 miles from home. And he goes, we don't have this up there. And it's crazy what Idaville will do.
How was the crowd at Napanee?
They had a decent crowd for a standalone poll.
A little more buggy parking.
Yeah.
You look out in the parking lot and you wonder what's with all the fire engines. Oh no, that's the locals. They're good.
And then you follow up Idaville with Tampico, which again, a town of 200 people, and they don't have the grandstands like we have at Idaville, but there's goosenecks for days down the one side and chairs everywhere, and they sold out of fish sandwiches on Friday night, and
about 10 minutes before the show started on Saturday night, the announcer goes, please take your pop-up tents down. The people in their trucks in the parking lot cannot see the show.
And it is a free show.
Yep.
Except for fish sandwich.
They want you to buy a fish sandwich and a bush light, and that's all they care about.
Yes.
I was going to say, explain that, because a few of us talk about that, and we know what that is, and we know that fish sandwich comment is not an inside joke. That's a real thing. So
no, it's a real thing. So Steve Wishmeyer's hometown. You can hit Wishmeyer's shop with a rock from the pulling track. This Roger Lowry backs up to the porch of the church, is where the starting line. There's literally 15 foot between him and the porch of the church, where you take off. It's phenomenal dirt. There is people everywhere. The fish sandwiches are great. You buy a fish sandwich and a bush light, and you made them happy. I mean, it is an awesome place.
Nice.
So 2 nights of pulling there goes really well. We're getting ready to go to Columbus, Indiana, and then we finish the month with me in Nashville doing baseball, which Charles and I talked about here yesterday.
Yep.
Which I'm in my baseball attire right now.
We'll be in Prairie, Indiana for 2 nights, and then we go to Winamac, Indiana for a Saturday night show, which Winamac's a cool place. It's kind of in a woods right along the river.
The river goes around it. When it floods, the fairgrounds are full of water. And it's just down in a little bowl, and it's a lot of fun, a lot of trees. And then we start July, which we go up to LaGrange for a Saturday pull, and then we start where some guy booked 5 pulls in 5 days, starting on a Wednesday.
Hey, before you get there, I'm wearing my Tigers home hat tonight. You got a prospect that can throw something and back up Scooble, because we're a train wreck. We need all the help we can get.
Well, he'll have to take your shortstop's number, because he's adopted that number for himself too. So
where did we go with sound?
So we go to LaGrange. Tuesday?
We go to LaGrange on a Saturday, and then we're off till Wednesday when we go to Georgetown, Illinois, And then we drive back across the state to come back to Greentown for 2 nights.
So we start out at Greentown on Friday night with Mod, King of the Hill, 2-6.
No, 3-0.
3-0. No, 3-0 is on Friday night.
Yes.
2-6.
Yeah, Thursday
and
night.
Then,
yes.
Alder Farm?
Yes.
So we start out in Greentown on Thursday night with those, and then Friday nights when we start, I guess the reason we're here tonight. Greentown is most of you know my hometown. Greentown on Friday night starts what we're going to call the ZZ Diesel Central. There you go, Charles. The ZZ Diesel Central Indiana Light Limited Pro Showdown. $18,000 purse over the 3 days. Greentown Friday night, which we're going to have Light Limited Pro, Hot Farm, 3.0 diesel trucks. What else are we looking at?
Mods.
No, Mods Thursday night.
I forget.
I don't know. Anyways, but he'll look in a second. And then we're going to go to Tipton on Saturday night with pretty much the ITPA 4-wheel drive Pro Mod trucks at Greentown. And then the 13th, we're going to Tipton with pretty much the same show, with the exception we're going to add mods at Tipton. And then Frankfurt on the 14th. So it's a Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We're going to pay $5,000 above the top 3, above the IPL purse for the top 3 finishers, which you guys can see broke down there. This is something I wanted to do for the last couple of years, but we couldn't ever make the logistics work of it. And finally, the dates kind of lined up, and these 3 shows are within 45 minutes each other. All 3 shows are going to have good dirt, good sled operators. It should be a heck of a weekend for us. You can see the rules there. We went with our Indiana Pulling League rules, which in the light limited pro class, we follow NTPA rules. No component chassis, no METOS tires. 48 lug max on that. Light pro weighs 9,000. 4.1 weighs 9,000. Super Farm NTPA rules can weigh 9,500. And then the Mod Turbo guys from out east, I've got some friends that sounds like they may come from out east, can weigh 9,300 if they run the interstate rules.
Man, it's going to be awesome. I hate that I can't be a part of this.
Yeah, same
This
here.
is going to be so freaking epic what you guys are doing with this. This is awesome. Absolutely awesome.
Well, I mean, this past weekend at Tampico in our light limited class, we were only going 32 mile an hour, and Roger was having to stop them at 326 to get them stopped before the sand pile. With these light pro guys have kind of picked up their game.
Yes, they have.
They are
a little
going.
That guy too. That guy right there too, who's like covering his mouth, not wanting to say nothing.
We went enough years. The 4-1 guys picked on us enough. It's our turn.
Yeah.
We're really hoping to make this kind of a where we get a lot of guys in here that don't normally run with us. We got a heck of an organization. I've talked to the guys out east. I think we're going to get a good showing from out there. I think we're going to get some 4-gun guys from the Midwest probably show up. Hi, Ryan. Nice to join you. We're going to get some 4-1 guys to show up. It ought to be a heck of a weekend for all of us. I know we're going to have some daylight pros show up on Friday night. They're going to have to probably go to Wilmington on Saturday night, but they'll probably come back on Sunday. But it ought to be a heck of a show for the light limited pros on Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
I'll tell you guys this: if it rains at Bowling Green at Beach Bend Raceway, I will scoot the hell out of there and fly up there as fast as I can and try to hang out with you guys. I really want to see this. I think it'd be sweet.
I remember the one time in Dover, Ohio, they did that, like a light pro shootout. I want to say back in 2015, 16. I think they had damn near 22, 25 light pros there that one year. When
I'd like to have 15 or 20.
That'd be awesome.
You get more than that. I'm not going to say it gets stale, but we all know that you get more than 16, 17, 18 in a class, the crowd kind of gets bored a little bit.
Yeah.
But if I can put 15 to 18 good light limited pros Super Farms can run with us too at the NTP rules at, what do we say,
9,500.
Super Farms can run with us too. Now, don't get me wrong, I'll take 30 tractors, but Richard and I have been there and done that before. Sleds run out of fuel. It can be tiring for everybody. 2020 was a exhausting year for us in some certain aspects.
Well, you got lucky in having the closest to the pin rules. COVID, you could do stuff, but I will say, I agree with you that 30 is a lot, but if it's 30 of the baddest on the planet and we're going to throw this down, that's a show, man. I don't care how long it takes.
I agree.
That is amazing.
We got 3 tracks right there that can be some of the better tracks around if they're prepared right.
Yes.
The dirt is phenomenal. Greentown, we've spent countless hours in the last, Rich Ryan knows by my Snapchats, we have spent countless hours in the last 5 years making that dirt what I feel is good. Tipton has always been good dirt. If it's prepared right, it is the best around. Frankfurt, the guy that's running it now, Ryan Scott, good friend of mine, knows how to build a track.
And working really, really hard to improve everything they can do there.
It can be 3 really good. I mean, just bend them over, come off the clutch, and roll with them nights. None of this playing with the throttle on the starting line. Tampico was that way. I mean, you just laid them over, and let them eat because they would get hooked up and rock and roll down there. I sent Ryan the videos of my run, and there wasn't no riding the clutch down there. You just let it have it and go, and that's what these 3 tracks could be this year.
That's what I want. I look at events like we always trying to figure out what's the next thing. What's the next thing? How do we grow it? And the same weekend as UCC was War in the Woods, 30 minutes away, doing no prep drag racing. They started on Friday night. They ran all damn night, finished the next day at 9 a.m. when it was done. And everybody said, well, that's crazy. How do you do it? Well, there's attention span there. There's people who want to see it. And if you put out the product that is that good, you're going to keep everybody all damn night and make it happen.
Mm-hmm.
This whole thing about, we got to get people out of the stands, get them into the carnival, and they want to ride the tilt-a-whirl by 10 o'clock. Well, you're not putting out a compelling product then on the track.
Idaville sells pork burgers and butterfly sandwiches. They started serving food at 5 o'clock. At 6:30, they was running to Monticello to get more buns and scrambling to get more pork burgers and butterfly sandwiches.
That's how it should be.
The issue with what you, Charles, I agree with you, but the issue that these 3 events have is we are tied to county fair. The fair pays for the events. And they want you in there at 7 o'clock, and they want them people back out eating food by 10.
Yep.
And, Richard can tell you, I've learned from Clint Tucker how to, run a show when it comes to speed or whatever. Our show runs, we're fast. And if you're not on that sled in 3 minutes, we're doing something wrong.
Yeah.
Because I want to run that stuff through there to get them people back on the midway or back in the food tent to give the fair some money, because let's face it, they're paying for the event.
Yep.
And that is one thing that all 3 of these events that we're talking about are tied to the county fair.
That's fair, and I accept that. Have you guys you talked about trying to do this. Have you experimented with the indoor style telehandler, put guys on the sled outdoors yet? Has that happened?
We have not experimented it yet. I have 2 of Clint Tucker's lifts still. I don't think he knows I still have them, but I do still have them. They're at the fairgrounds. I went by there last night and found them. I don't know. The more I've thought about this, the other issue becomes help. Getting help you can trust to do that.
Yes.
The way our show runs, which, Ryan will see it this year, we drag the tractors in front of it. Sounds kind of like where Mary and them went. We drag the tractors in front of the grandstands before they hook to the sled. The issue we have had the last couple of years is the guys will stack up and it'll block some of the crowd. So I think my main concern right now is getting them picked up and moved out in front of the crowd and backed against what we have, like a fence that surrounds our whole track, is to get them backed up against that fence and get them out of the way of the crowd. If we can do that and they still pull on the track, I'll live with it this year. It depends how much help I have. My father-in-law is going to come up. I think he's going to run one of the machines, which my father-in-law been around pulling a lot of years. They used to run a four-wheel drive truck called the Night Train. My mother-in-law used to run the sled. It was Ollie Schaefer's daughter. So, they've been around pulling a lot of years. He's going to come up and help us. My issue is going to be if I got enough help to do what I want to do, I guess.
Fair point. Help. What I want people to take out of what you just said is the help thing. And it's not just being present. You've got to be competent within a certain skill set. Yeah. Can you run a telehandler? Can you? It doesn't need to even be what we're talking about, putting guys in front of the sled. Can you just run the damn thing and pick weights out of the sled? Can you put weights in the sled? Can you just be minimally competent and available to help progress an event? I've been a part of it. It's something that I've had to set the mic down and go jump in a machine. And it's like, it's so frustrating to keep it kicked along. There's no excuse for that. There should be something in the front end that says, hey, this is what we need. And if you're willing to do it, like we're open arms. Like, we're not here to judge. I'm not going to sit here and say, you got to look a certain way or anything. Like, just come on, get in the machine, be competent, don't hurt anybody, go. And you really will help. And we really need that.
Yeah, you're right. You gotta figure out, because the guy running that skid loader, the guy running that tractor that's gonna move him around, you gotta realize he's picking up hundreds of thousands of dollars in equipment.
Yes.
Sticking him in a sled, and he's gotta have some care to do that. And that's where the problem lies, is finding somebody you can trust to do that job.
They're out there. I feel like they're out there. And I feel like they're maybe intimidated to even offer.
Bye, Ryan.
I feel like those guys. There are kids who want to do it, and I look at my son as case in point. He wants to help. He wants to do it, but he's unsure of himself. He's 18, and so he doesn't have the confidence to know what he's doing, and yet he does. He's conscientious. I'm looking for those guys. Who's the conscientious young man that will step up into and turn the key and make something happen? And don't be scared to do something wrong. Just be cognizant of what you're trying to do, that it is a $100,000, $200,000 or $300,000 piece of equipment. You just got to be gentle and do it. I think there's guys who could do that, and they're just scared. We have intimidated them to not step forward. That's on us.
I agree, man. I agree.
That's fair. Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of our hope, that we can make that happen. At least get the tractors put against the fence, where when they do drive on the track, we're not making 16 turns and taking 5 minutes to back into the sled, which we've been pretty good about that, but you also got to think of the crowd in the stands and not blocking them with the tractors or trucks sitting in front of the stands. That is something the way our facility is designed that lacks a little. I do like dragging the tractors and trucks in front of the stands so people can see them before they go down the track.
Yes.
What did we 5 years ago? Yeah. We used to pull east or west to east. Now we pull east to west. And when we pulled west to east, it wasn't a problem. But now we pull east or west to east, it is an issue because we pull east to west now. It is an issue because the tractors or trucks sit in front of the stands before they take off. And that's something I want to eliminate this year. Oh, hi, Ryan. Welcome back.
I think,
Yeah,
too,
shut up.
If you guys are going to pull, and this is just something that gets me sometimes, like a lot of the fairs, they'll pull it down and it just turns into a big dust cloud.
I know what water is. I on too much junk in the day.
Oh my gosh.
Especially
when you're shooting a flash, it's like, oh my God. Can't even use a flash.
We have 3 water wagons and we use all 3 of them.
Yeah.
Shoot with a flash. Shoot with a flash.
What is that horse crap?
Simon says die.
Huh?
But so that's
Buttercup.
We're hoping to do is make this shootout something big. I think it's got potential to be, and if it works this year, we will bring it back next year to do the same thing, as long as the dates line up.
It looks like a hell of a, if you're saying they're only 45 minutes apart, that's sweet.
They are.
That's really nice.
Yeah. We looked at Google Maps on one of the, we talked about it before, did a Google map on it. It literally is that close. It's that tight to be able to be there.
In all 3 fairgrounds you can stay overnight at. They're all 3 safe, nice facilities. Our county fair here in Greentown is the 5th largest non-tax supported event in the state of Indiana. It's the 3rd largest fair, second to 3rd largest county fair. St. Joe County, which is South Bend, Goshen, which is Elkhart, and then the state fair, Marion County Fair, are the 3 that are larger attended than our fair.
Nice.
Fair is a Lions Club run fair. It is a nonprofit organization. It sits on 44 acres, 45 acres, I think, out there.
Yeah.
It is the cleanest, and obviously I live here, so I'm a little partial, but we pulled all over. We know the county fairs. It is the cleanest fairgrounds you're ever going to go to in your life. Hands down. It is, I think you can ask John and Christy when they come out here that year to do the Watson deal we done out here. It is clean. The facility is phenomenal. The people that run it are great. They pretty much give us free reign. If we can show them that it's going to bring people in, do it and be done with it. It is an awesome fairgrounds.
And we need to give also a big thank you to Jacob Zodi and ZZ Diesel.
Yes, sir.
Couldn't do this without them.
Jacob and I have been friends a long time. Most of we own a Ford dealership. Jacob buys parts off of us. Him and his dad are farmers just north of here, about 10 mile. Great people. Jacob, I hit him up, asked if he wanted to do this. He's like, yes, I'm all for it. Us is Brad Alford, obviously is title sponsor of IPL. Jacob is going to get more involved every year with it. He knows it's his demographic. He knows, what works. Jacob is a very smart individual. He knows what marketing is and what works.
Yeah, he's on it. I got to know him. Gosh, it's got to be 10 years ago now, and I'm really impressed with what he's been able to do for himself and for his shop. And he's making a difference where he can give back, and that's really, really cool. What he's been able to do.
His new shop is unbelievable. If anybody's ever got a chance to go by there or whatever, it's on State Road 18, just about 2 miles east of 31, right on State Road 18. It is a masterpiece in itself.
Yeah.
his new shop. It is phenomenal.
He's also the title sponsor of the 2-day Peru pull over there at Miami County Fairgrounds also. So he's not just helping us, he's helping his hometown counties pull also in that aspect. So
he's got title sponsorship on a sled too, right?
Yes.
Yep.
He's on Chase Lowry's sled. Yes.
Yep. Good dude. And if you're in north central Indiana, need something on your diesel pickup, go to ZZ Diesel, go to Jacob Zodi and get it done, because he's here and he's giving back to us and making things happen for the sport of pulling. So definitely want to support him for what he's doing. That's definitely worthy. Awesome job. Thank you, Jacob.
He's definitely helping out with that. You know, we're fortunate enough that, you know, we've got a couple other diesel companies that do diesel work and stuff that help us also. I believe they do business with Jacob. So I mean, it all comes full circle with everything that way.
Yeah. Cool deal.
So we are looking forward. Things are progressing with the season. Numbers have been decent. You know, we were down a little bit at Tampico, but they were still farming down in that area.
I finished planting beans Friday morning before the show.
Yeah.
I mean, I think this year is going to be the numbers are going to be so sporadic this year. I'm not so sure Mike Mary, you can tell me I'm wrong here, but I'm not so sure the points titles mean as much to people as they did at one time. They want to go where they want to go. They want to go have fun with the people they want to have fun with, and that's the way it's going to be.
100%.
Yep.
If I want to go to Tampico, Indiana, and pull, I'm going to go to Tampico, Indiana, pull. If I want to go to Toma, Wisconsin, I'm going to go to Toma. You know, if I want to go to Farley, I'm going to go to Farley. People are going to go where they want to go. The points titles do not mean what they did at one time to people, in my opinion.
Yeah, I just hit the lightning rod of something that's been a conversation amongst us big time.
I mean, we're
right.
We're
100%.
The full IPL series this year. You know, my dad, which some of you know, ran Diesel Super 70s, 80s, sold at Ceramic in 91. You know, we've been to Louisville one time. He'd like to go back to Louisville another time. You know, we're going to run the whole IPL circuit, try to get back to Louisville. I'd love to put my dad on the tractor at Louisville. He's probably sitting out there by the pool listening right now, probably going, it ain't happening.
We're going to do it, Dad. We're doing it, Dad.
I'd love to put him on the tractor at Louisville one time. So, you know, we are the title sponsor of IPL, and I started a new business in September of last year. It's nice because with the exception of Tampico and Columbus, an hour and a half from home, I can be dollar hooks.
Right.
And that is, if somebody quit booking 20 of hooks a year for us, it'd be a lot better. But I don't know. He hadn't figured out what the word no is yet.
Just occasionally.
So
we've got pullers on the show right now, Zach and the Kehls. I want to ask you point blank, what are you chasing? Is it something where you're looking for the prestige of the event, where it's something that has history behind it that you want to chase, or is it actual payout where you're just racing that check? What's driving you?
Mary, you can go first.
Well, I don't think it's the check.
It's not.
It's
there ain't one of us in this for the check, guys. Come on.
We just decided, especially getting the invite to the Netherlands, we had to give up a portion of the season to ship the tractor. So, you know, forget about points. It isn't even going to happen this year. And it was actually a nice breather, a nice opportunity to have a little bit of spring and summer, early summertime, to do what we like to do, is spend time with family and get stuff done around here and just take a little break. it really felt good to have that little break time. So, I don't know if we'll ever chase points again.
We go where we want. You guys know. I mean, we love Bowling Green.
We do.
We usually in the fall we go on down to Raleigh and we get a really big reception down there. Kind of a pain in the ass to get into the pole down there and compete, but we love it down there. I mean, the crew kind of.
We want to go to Toma.
Yeah, we were going to go to Toma this year
Yes.
until this came up. And
Yes.
we just want to go to some venues. We talked about running the whole Grand National Circuit we talked about this year, next year, and it's like the point stays for us. I think they're over.
Yeah.
We've been to the Enderley. We had won the Enderley, and this year we're all talking to crew and everything's going back to watch because we never watched much of it last year.
Yeah.
But some of the little hometown polls like our Langford out here, I mean, it's just a nice hometown poll. We want to go there. Of course, it's 45 minutes, so
It's close.
But yeah, it's not about the points for us at all.
No.
What would it take for you guys to chase points? Like what difference would it need to make where you would do that?
We did the first year we started. We run the whole Regional 2 National NTPA, and it was a grueling season. I mean, it was, for being a dumb couple of rookies,
Yep.
it was a learning curve, but it was, for us, it was 14,000 miles, 14,000 plus. And at the end of the day, we finished, I think, fourth in the points, which we were proud of. But at the end of the day, you got a points check for $500.
Yeah. And what was first? Maybe 1,000.
Yeah, right. So, I mean, it's not the money. It's just, I don't really think we would chase points ever again.
Probably not.
I really don't.
For us, if the IPL circuit wasn't, for the most part, with that, we wouldn't do it. The first year we had this thing out, we went to run points. I think the region had 21 hooks that first year we built this thing, and we kicked the rods out of it in Ohio, leading the region by 28, 29 points the year we kicked the rods out. And that was enough for me to say, okay, we've tried this. I'm not doing it again.
Yeah.
And then, what did we start light limited class 10 years ago now?
Right at it, yes.
Right at 10 years ago. And, I'll never forget, we went to our first one at Peru, Indiana was the first one we went to. And we were fighting some trouble. It was 15 minutes from the house. Went up there, ran with his guys, but I knew Richard a little bit before that. And I'm like, this is nice. We had to go to Connorsville, Indiana the next night, which was only 2 hours. But we had to go to Connorsville the next night, go down there, and we went up third and got $470. I was fifth the night at him and got $400, 15 miles from the house.
Yeah.
And it's like, you sit back and go, especially from a business owner in the area, if you want to promote your business and have this tractor out in front of the people that support you, it's like, makes sense to drive 15 miles to 150.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
And I like going to the IPL shows. Obviously, I'm involved with IPL, but you go, everybody gets along great. We congratulate each other. We help each other. You don't have to worry about politics is probably the word I'm looking for. Going to some of these big shows, nothing wrong with it. NTPA, PPL do a phenomenal job. There's nothing wrong with either one of them. But we go, we have fun. At Tampico, my mom made a batch of sloppy joes after the pull on Friday night. Half the light pro class came over and ate with us. We all sit there, we shot the shit, we got along, we drank beer together, and nobody argued or complained or nothing.
Yep.
And it's just the hometown feel to me makes all the difference in the world.
I agree.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
When we were running the regional level, we made a lot of friends. That's every night after the hook, we drank beer together, we ate together. Same story. And we enjoy that. We miss that this year a little bit. Met a lot of great people, but to get into that question a little further, I don't know what it makes us. I mean, last year we go to Bowling Green. Bowling Green to us is just, they take good care of you out there. It's good. It's like a family reunion. But what makes us go to there and pull with 50 plus menus? It's like, you're in the shoot for 2-3 hours. And, it's just, but we love it. We go there.
Yeah. Just because it's Bowling
Yeah,
Green,
it
I
is.
think
It's
that's
like a family
why.
reunion out there.
That's the same with us. Somebody asked me the other day if we're going to go to Fort Recovery.
Yes.
I used to love Fort Recovery. It's one of my favorite places we've ever been. But when they went to run us on Saturday noon and Saturday night, I hate running 2 times in one day. I don't know why, but I hate it. And you go over there. We'd go over on Thursday night, park the motorhome, stay all weekend, hang out. Now we're going over there on Friday night, getting there late, running 2 times Saturday. The only show other than IPL this year that we're probably going to make, with exception maybe a Battle of Bluegrass or 2 at the end of the year, is we'll probably go to Greenville, Ohio, just because Palmer and Thornhill and them guys always come support Bob Campbell. They always come support my show. And so I feel like I need to return the favor if it's together. Other than that, I don't see us going anywhere very much farther from home this year.
So we're having a great conversation about geography and what it means to you to go to a certain place. And I understand that. I'm curious, putting it back in the European place where you guys have had opportunity to see it. What is it like for them with you got NTTO, GTTO, ETPC? Is it the same sort of thing where they're choosing, or is it different? Like, I'm curious. I'm genuinely curious about what that sounds like.
I don't know the answer to that question. The ones that are running the Euro Cup are running the Euro Cup, but I honestly don't know.
I talked to a couple people, and they would run with NTTO, and then they just put it back in the trailer, and then they watch the Euro Cup ones. They could have ran with the Euro Cup,
exactly.
but it wouldn't have made any difference for them at all.
So were you guys did they have? Was there 2 organizations that run that deal?
There was 3 organizations that ran that deal. Friday was an organization, Saturday was NTTO, and then Sunday was the Euro Cup.
Yeah.
3 different organizations, 3 different days.
Yep.
And
Candace and I were following along on your Snapchat and everything. And I told her, I said, which she's, most of Candace is a travel agent.
Yeah.
She's like, let's go somewhere all the time.
Do it.
I'm like, you're not getting me out of this country. But I made a comment to her the other day. I said, there's one place I'll go is I want to go where you guys went and watch that deal one weekend. I know Laura Guthrie went a couple years ago, 3 years ago, whatever it was, said it was absolutely unbelievable. That is one place that I would go out of this country.
Yep. It is unbelievable.
Let me know when you want to go, because I'll go with.
We can hook you up. Let's go. What to do, where to stay, and everything else.
Carl's like, to go back.
You will not be disappointed.
No. I don't think you understand. Like, I've been watching the Power Weekend videos for years, and was like, I want to go there.
Here.
I want to go there, and I want to throat punch Adam a little bit because he got to go. But let me know when you want to go, because I'm in.
That's last year at Bowling Green. One of our good friends from over there, Frank Lemonkuhl, with
Green Monster,
Labadas and
Green Monster.
Yeah, he was doing a rain session at Bowling Green. He was standing in my trailer. We were having a beer, and he says, "Oh, you guys, if you get a chance to come to Mata, you got to come." And it's like, after we got invited over there, he was messaging me going, "Oh man, remember that conversation?" I said, "Yeah." We were actually planning on going this year to watch, and then when Hansi Boxler got invited, he lives right down the road here, and we were like, we're going to go over and support him.
Yeah.
And then we got the invite. So, but you guys ever get a chance to do it?
How did the organizations get along over there? Because over here it feels so contentious, where we do it this way, and next guy tomorrow it's got to be a certain way, and it's just so particular. I feel like that it's a little bit of an overreach, a little bit of arrogance again.
Let me put it this way.
How's it over there?
I didn't even know there was 3 different organizations running.
I didn't until Saturday.
I had no idea.
Yeah, Charles.
The only thing that was different is they were wearing different tracksuits.
Yep.
That was it. I had no idea until Sunday. And I asked Dennis, I was like, it's a different organization.
Richard wants to light me up. I'm ready for it. I apologize, but
you beat me to that, Charles. That's what I was getting ready to say was I don't know that we could get 3 organizations to run polls in the same spot for 3 days in a row and get along. I don't, and I'm not trying to be mean to anybody, but it's just that I don't know that we could do it.
The thing about what I see over here from outside looking in, which obviously I'm a competitor, but the issue between what I'm going to say the national organizations over here and the IPLs, the Battle Bluegrass, is the people on these computers today that have never been down the track or never been involved with the sport. That is the problem, because us pollers don't have a problem with each other.
Yeah.
Do we like some of the rules that other organizations do? No, we don't. I.e. the component chassis light pro class. Dumbest thing ever, if you ask me. But it whatever it may be. But do us pollers hate each other for it? No, we don't. One of my best friends is Caleb Ogle. He's going to have one of the best looking component light pros there is whenever he decides to get it out of the barn. But it's just Richard's right. Get these organizations over here to agree. I don't know if you're ever going to do it, because it just the people. I'm not going to say the people don't want to get along, but the organizations always want to try to one up each other, and it does not work that. It does not work that. Which you guys in the mini class, I feel like your rules are probably you and the two wheelers are probably the closest crossing organizations as anybody there is.
Yeah.
So that would be something like ask Sasha or one of the Green Monster guys. Be like, what struggles did you have, if any? Where did the organizations fight you to put EFI on your tractors? How did you approach them? Be like, hey, we want to put EFI on the Allisons. Yay, nay. What did you have to go through to make that happen?
Rich will tell you, common rail is not the issue. It's the limits that need to be had for that to come into the sport.
Yeah.
Just like EFI. Because anytime you open that up, we all know what electronics do.
Yeah. You're cheating. And it's but it helps. And I don't know. Whatever. That's a whole nother bucket of work.
Yeah, we don't have time for that tonight.
Some other time. But I mean, just even walking around the pits. Walking around.
We can rant. We can rant. We can do it.
Toma's on outside by the pool.
Yeah, right. I said walking around the pits during the rainstorm. I mean, there was numerous times that there was multi-pullers at different tents, just sitting down, having a good time. And it's really, you see that a lot at our place going around too, but it was maybe a little different there because each puller had tents set up where they could invite their sponsors to come, and they had like a sponsor dinner, and they had drinks and beverages and stuff like that for them. So that whole setup was a lot different compared to a lot of our polls where you're just there for the day and then you leave afterwards. So, but there was a lot of togetherness that I saw. Guys were talking, they were just, I didn't know what they were saying, but I mean,
we think it was nice words.
We think it was nice.
Let me put it this way. I've never been to Bowling Green, but I'd rather go to Mata than Bowling Green.
I think you got to go to both.
Go there.
If I had to pick one, I'm going to Mata. I'm sorry.
Well, yeah, because that's a once in a lifetime deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I'll make it a yearly thing if that's the case.
I've been to Bowling Green numerous times as a spectator, crew member, whatever. Bowling Green, I feel like that whole I'm from this organization goes away at Bowling Green.
Yeah.
Yes.
Everybody gets along. Everybody drinks beer together. We cook out. We have a good time.
Yes.
That is the one place in the United States that I feel like is like that.
But at the same aspect, I don't want to see 400 super farms go down the track. I want to see different.
They were down to 43 last year. Okay.
it's
but
pretty
that's
close.
where you're going to
73
go.
too.
That's where you're going to go, though, to see the best of the best. And if it
You're
means
right.
that there's 43 of them, then that means there's 43 of them, and you got to go through that gauntlet to figure it out.
I need more
I'm
camera
down
batteries,
for it.
Charles.
So when you get over 35 vehicles in a class, do you split the class and run it 2 times around the finals?
No, run them straight up.
The track changes 15 times over 35 vehicles.
And you still draw the same bingo balls everybody else does. That's not new. That's 100 years old.
I agree. But when you're running the afternoon at Bowling Green or afternoon wherever it is, and you're the 35th hook in a class of 40, what's the difference? There's a lot of difference.
There's a huge difference.
Well, I remember the one year at Bowling Green, there was 50 some pro stocks. Track it started at 7 o'clock.
18 or whatever in the pool.
They reset the sled because nobody could get a hold of the track, and then all of a sudden, sun goes down, moisture started coming up. 18 in the pull off. I'm like, come on.
Well, there's nothing terrible about pull-offs, but everybody's just decided they don't want to run twice.
Yeah.
And I think that takes away a little.
There's the point right there. Say that again. Say that again. Say that again. That's the point right there.
Nobody, it seems like none of the pullers want to go twice. They don't want to be in a pull-off.
No, I
They
don't
want to
either.
run once,
Right.
and that's the end of that. But it takes away the excitement.
Over there, they have the
I don't have a problem with running twice if we got enough vehicles between us to cool them down.
Right.
We had 8 tractors at Tampico the other night and put 2 in the sand. It's like, okay, hang on. There's not enough tractors here to cool these things down. 8 of them to run twice.
Right. Well, there's that. That's very true.
Well, I'm going to take myself here with the Bowling Green. And the last time that I was at Bowling Green was like 1977 as a young kid. And there was times that they had pull-offs there that they had a pull-off for the pull-off for the pull-off.
Oh, Lord.
Because there was 67 in each class. So
okay,
but that was a different time.
Okay, but let's go back to the Euro side where the 100-meter thing, and they run them out the back door 3 damn times.
Yeah, right.
Yep.
If you are, if
back.
if the premise is that's what we're going to do, no one should be upset about it. No one going in, and we don't do that here. We do not do that here.
No, we don't.
But they do.
They do.
So the idea that you cannot make an engine live or you can't make a tractor live is bullshit. Yes, you can if you know going in that this is something that we're going to do.
So you guys were over there. Am I wrong in saying that somehow over there they have figured out sponsorship better than we have over here?
Appears that way.
Yeah.
So how do we bring that to the United States to figure out to get the sponsorship and the dollars to make this stuff? I'm not going to say live, but there again, none of us are in this for the money, but to have a sponsorship dollar to make this work, well, we can do that. We can run these things on kill every weekend.
They're filling the stands. I mean, we follow polling over there.
I don't know if I knew the answer, I would be screaming it on this show. I don't know the answer.
I mean, you look at some smaller venues over there, and they're filling the stands. I mean, we were watching to get where they were, but they just packed. Yeah. And first of all, that's what we got to do over here before we can attract sponsors. I mean, face it. I mean, I keep telling everybody, motorsports in general is doomed unless we change something.
My question would be is like, do they have as many small events like we do? Do they have county fairs where they're pulling over there?
Not county fairs, but they got a lot of smaller venues.
Yeah, they do.
But I'm saying like, okay, I mean, you look at the state of Indiana or what's that?
Not like regional stuff though.
No.
Yeah, but I'm saying like in the state of Iowa or Indiana, you take whatever state you want in a weekend, you could probably have 5 polls in the state at a bare minimum.
Right.
And I don't think they have that over there like what we do.
No, I don't think
so.
No.
Seems like they got one every weekend.
No, it's more the NASCAR mentality. One
right.
full weekend, bigger crowds at each event.
Right. And so I'm saying from a spectator standpoint is like we're thinning our crowds by having a lot of these smaller events at that point, you know, and granted, we might have more vehicles than they do in general, but at that point, like we're thinning the crowds to where it's harder for these events to have that.
Yeah.
And so I guess from my standpoint, I'm looking at from a sponsorship, you know, where are they putting the dollars at? You know, I won't go deep in the weeds, but from a different motorsports, they talk about where their dollars from a sponsorship go to. They said we're not changing the program, we're not changing what we do, we're changing it from a aspect of what makes the car better and what we're going to do. We're still going to keep doing the same stuff to make it live, to make it, you know, longevity and everything from that standpoint. Is that being translated into polling in that aspect, or is it, oh, we got some sponsorship, we're going to throw it at a new part and that's all we're going to do?
Yeah, I don't know. We didn't really get a chance to talk to them, and like in that aspect, I would love to sit down with Eric and just talk to him about everything other than tractor pulling.
Yeah,
right.
For like a day, because it would be awesome.
I think we need to do that. That needs to be a goal for this show. We need to do that.
Yep.
Adam, how's his English? Would
Very
he be comfortable?
Very good, yeah.
Extend the invite.
Yeah. I mean, right now there it's probably like 3 a.m.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. And that's fine.
We can accommodate.
So whether it's a pre-recorded or whatever.
Exactly. It doesn't need to be live. We could do it pre-recorded to accommodate him. That if he's gonna offer us that expertise, like I got no problem just saying, hey, we're not doing this live, it's just a thing with him. And yeah, absolutely.
That would work. You got to give him a couple more weeks to get the venue cleaned up. He needs to get his copy.
That's right.
So like we were saying, like this pole is in the middle of a cow pasture. The tractor there all year long.
If you Google Earth it,
there's
nothing there but a pasture.
Yes.
And they rent everything or own it, and they just bring everything in.
Put it up.
So they've been putting the stands up for 6 weeks. Everything.
I've looked at Google Maps multiple times at that place. I want to know the people that don't camp there, where do they stay? Because there's not a block of hotel chains down the street from that place.
There isn't. It's surprising, but when we got invited, we pretty much got invited late. I mean, compared to when Hans got the nod. And a friend of ours said, I'm going. And he was able to book a hotel with no problem at all in Mata.
Yeah.
So most of the people travel there. Yeah. They're local. Yeah. Bikes, you can't believe how many people ride their bike to this event. And
that sounds miserable, by the way.
There's a lot of bikes.
It's pretty flat. They don't see
after what we heard on the car, the insurance and the auto tax and stuff like that, there's a reason why they drive bikes.
They get taxed monthly.
Yes.
On the size of the weight of their vehicles they drive.
Road tax.
Our shipping gentleman, Willem Cornelius, he come to visit us. He was there every day, and he drives a smaller SUV, and he pays $500 a month for road tax.
Shit, you got charged to go to the bathroom. I remember Adam sending a Snapchat about getting charged to go to the porta potty.
The pee-pee at the rest stop.
Well, and that was specifically because people are apparently living in campers traveling around, and they more or less set up residency in those bathrooms on those. They're not interstates. I don't know what they call their main thoroughfares that go from point A to point B, like our interstates do. But it turned out that they were, they're doing their laundry in there and everything else, and the place was not very tidy at all. No. So they went to the pay toilet system so that they could keep them clean. Well, that's the only reason.
And it surprises a lot of people. We were sitting around the base camp, and there was a few indulging in a few beers, and I knew what was ahead of us, the bus ride. So we got stuck in a standstill for 2 hours on the 4-lane for a wreck that was ahead of us on the way up to Boers. And I ain't mentioned any names, but there was a couple that got off that bus when we stopped to eat, and ran into the place and got up there and couldn't figure out how to get into the toilet. So it was hilarious.
It's like a steak and shake in Champaign, Illinois after Gordyville.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
I think we're gonna bail, guys. Richard's got to be at Grand Park at 7 in the morning for a baseball game. I got to be at work not too long after that. So,
thank you guys so much.
Thank you guys for
Thanks
joining
for coming on, guys.
Cruz, are you coming out Thursday or Friday, or what are you doing?
TBD.
Okay.
TBD. It'll be one of those 2 days for sure. I'm
Well,
kind
I
of leaning.
hope so.
Yeah, kind of leaning maybe towards leaving at the butt crack of dawn on Friday.
Okay.
What time's the show?
7. So Friday night we're doing. So have you guys heard of Emily Ann Roberts? She's an up and coming country star that was second on The Voice or whatever.
She's a sweetheart.
Yes.
I have a dear
modern day Reba or whatever. She's singing at Greentown on Friday night. I think there's probably a 70% chance she's going to sing the national anthem for us on Friday night.
Sweet. I have a dear friend that plays piano for her. She's a sweetheart.
Oh yeah, she's awesome. So I think they say 7, but generally on Friday nights we always have a hard time getting people in the stand or in the fairgrounds by 7. So we generally start like our national anthem and stuff at 7. We're gonna do a first responder deal this year before. So I hope to have the first tractor down the track by like 7:15 is my goal. I know everybody says you don't want to start a pull late, but when you got 50 people or 60 people standing at the gate trying to get in, you drag your feet a little bit, I guess I'm going to say. So,
or you just use QR codes, and then they can buy while they're walking on their way in.
Yeah, well,
did I say that out? Sorry,
we're in redneck.
Editor, scratch that part.
They don't know how to do that. So, but yeah, 7 o'clock showtime for both nights. I think 7 Tipton, 7 Frankfurt. No, 5 Frankfurt.
6, I believe.
6 or 5 or 6 Frankfurt that night for the shootout. So yeah, but that's where we're at. So
I'll be out there in time.
Appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
We'll be in
later
touch.
on.
Yep. See you guys.
Take care.
Yep.
I will be as well. Give me a second.
Richard and Zach are gone. Mike and Mary, I will afford you the opportunity to pull the parachutes and get out of this now if you like, because there's a rant coming. We have not done.
Oh no! You guys are going to want to stay for this. Do not hit that.
We have not done in Sidetracked in a long time, and I'm fired up and I'm ready.
Well, it depends
So-
what you're ranting about.
Yeah.
If we decide we don't want to listen, we're just stuck out.
You can pull the parachute anytime you want, and that's
They'll exit stage right. It's okay.
Yeah, it's totally good. I'm really, really, really frustrated with the state of our sport. I am at the point where I want to walk away from it and lean more into the drag racing stuff that I do. And there's a reason why. I feel like there is a tide of greed that is in our sport right now. And it's something that is very self-serving. And it's not something that I'm willing to be behind. I wanted to quit this weekend, and I didn't. And here's why. I had an experience with 2 individuals that reminded me why I'm here. First and foremost was my son being in the sled and at the event that we were working this weekend. He doesn't know about any of the stuff that's going on. He doesn't read pulloff.com. He's not on Facebook. He doesn't know anything about any of this. He's a pure person who has passion for the sport. He wants the trust of the guys that his dad knows. He wants to be somebody that they trust being in that sled. And I don't want to be the guy that screws that up for him because I know too much, because I know where the skeletons are buried. That's not fair to him.
Nope.
He's the guy that I grew up wanting to be. There was another happenstance throughout the weekend. I co-announced the show with Matthew McNult. Matthew, his dad runs the Green Energy Super Farm. He grew up around the sport. And we had a guy stop us at one point where nothing was going on. And he just said, hey, I can't tell who of you is on the mic. You guys sound the same. And Matthew said, I grew up listening to this guy, meaning me, do this. That hit me like a lightning bolt. It matters that somebody listens and wants to be in a spot where they're influencing people. They are the voice for their memories. They are part of the crowd's experience for a show. That's the job we do. And he acknowledged his learning and his lifetime from me. That really crystallized what I'm doing and made me realize how important it is that I'm doing things right and that I want to do things the proper way to encourage and educate and bring up that next group. That the Matthew wants to be that guy. I used to be terrified that the phone wouldn't ring again, that I wouldn't get that new job if I turned it down. I know now that the phone does ring and there's good people and there's guys like him that are coming behind me, and it's not just him. I'm going to keep going because of people like him, because of my son, because I want this sport to thrive, but I want it to thrive in the correct way. If it's going to be greedy, if it's going to be all about me, I'll find the exit door. I don't need to be a part of that. But I will be a part of something that is great, something that is a huge piece of my childhood, something that I love. I'm not going to stop. I'll keep doing it to do it for the right reasons. And I don't think there's the right reasons necessarily out there right now, but you're going to find the right reasons here.
Yeah.
And that's it.
No, I think you hit it on the head because going out there this weekend, there was people that walked up to me and said, "We've been watching. We watch your page. We see what you're doing over there. We appreciate what you're doing over there. And we look at your photos. We learn off of them. They just take it. And that floors me. I think each one of us, including Mary and Mike, have looked up to people in their non-professional careers and their professional careers, and have wanted to become that. And we have to keep in mind that people are watching us in the same way that we watched the people ahead of us.
Yes.
And that we can't forget that. I mean, we're human. We fail. I mean, we fail miserably all the time. But when somebody like that comes up to you, that puts everything in perspective. Everything that you've done in that time, it says it was worth it. And it totally changes your way of thinking. Like you said, you were going down a path that maybe you didn't want to go down, but then somebody walks up to you in a certain time and says, I've been watching, I've been learning, and I appreciate what you've done for me. And it's awesome. There's no greater feeling. This sport has brought people together. It's turned people away. It's made friends. It's made enemies. But it's brought all of us together in the same platform with one goal, and that is to grow the sport of pulling. Whether we're right or wrong, we all have our own opinions. We all have our own beliefs, but we feel that we're doing it the right way. And I hope the people that are watching approve of what we do, and can walk up to us at a poll and say, hey, remember that podcast you did whatever, and we really enjoyed that. And that makes it all worth it. It's not about us getting funded. It's not about us getting sponsorships. It's not about us getting money to do what we do. We do it because we friggin' love this sport.
Exactly.
End of story.
Now let's also not pigeonhole ourselves into being a charity case. If anybody wants to sponsor us, you know how to get a hold of us. Sorry, I had to throw that in there. Come on.
And we'll do the shameless part of it, and that's fine. Yeah. But we're not getting. You know what? I'm going to shut up.
Just say.
I think a lot of it's just we're staying true to our core.
Yeah.
I mean, there's reasons why we do this, and we're staying true to our core. That's the long and short of it. We do it for the people.
I don't need to get wealthy off this sport, right? Do I get paid to be an announcer? That's awesome. Yes, I do. That's great. I don't need to get paid to. I'm sorry, guys. I'm gonna single you out here. I don't need to get paid to hold the camera. I don't need to get paid to hold the microphone necessarily. I'm doing it because I want to.
Yeah.
I'm doing it because I want to.
4 years ago,
I don't need this computer. I don't need all this shit behind me. $10,000 worth of everything but the fucking tower of a radio station is behind me. I don't need
that. That's outside. That's outside.
Yeah, that's
we know.
outside attached to the deck.
That's why
I don't need that
lightning storm.
I don't know, but why is it here? Because I want to.
Yeah.
But that stays true to your core. That's the message. That's the persona that you want, because that's the reasons we're here. That's the reasons the four of us got together.
Yep.
Honestly, I mean that's the reasons that we get along as well as we do, because we're in it because we like the sports of motorsports, whether it be pulling, racing, drag racing, like everything, and we all have our own niche, and that's fine. But
so Mike and Mary, do I need to edit you guys out of this, or like?
Sorry,
did we go totally screwball?
No, valid points. I mean, we do what we do because we really love it, and we love people, and part of it is it's not about the money, as we all know, and I always tell Mary, we're not going to go down the track and win every time, but all we want to do is go out and be competitive and hold your head high at the end of the night. And, we talk to people, get some kids in the street, try to grow our sport. And, one year at Bowling Green, we're always about the Make-A-Wish out there and donating things. And of course, put the kids in the seat. And we got approached about putting one of the Make-A-Wish kids in the seat. And I'll tell you, it was like whatever we spent to this day on Poland was worth that moment right there.
And you've stayed true the entire time. Like, that is something you guys do. Like, put a kid in the seat, go out there, be competitive. Like, that's the core you guys do. You go out there, you have fun, you put a kid in the seat, you're competitive. Like, that's what keeps you guys going all these years.
Yeah, and
when it's not fun anymore, we're done.
When we first brought the church chassis home, I said, when this is not fun anymore, we're gone.
Yep.
100%. We're not in it for the long haul. We got another couple of years probably, and we got a lot of things we want to do. I just retired a couple of weeks ago, and
congrats.
Matter of fact, thank you.
That's awesome.
Our schedule here after Bowling Green. We might park it for the rest of the year just to go do some traveling. This is the year to probably do it. We missed 9 hooks already. It won't be back here until July 14th, I think.
I thought you were going to say that it's your turn to polish and buff it so that way it looks good next time you guys go out.
Always my turn.
Hey, even I helped a little bit this week.
Yeah.
All that spare time, I figured, there's, but
no, we always pride ourselves on keeping everything clean.
It's clean.
No, I know. I had to give you a shit about something.
I've had a lot worse shit than that.
So don't worry, the show isn't over. We ain't done.
So I was going to say, we're an hour and 46 in. Don Slama is going to be mad that I haven't been the Don Slama approved show yet.
Yeah, had to hit that. Had to post it up.
No, we appreciate being on. We'll be on anytime you want. We're looking forward to our local pole in Langford the first weekend in August, and we're going to go on to probably Sandusky on the way to Bowling Green, and after that's unknown right now. So
yeah,
but
why don't you come out west?
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, Adam. Why don't you come out west?
Yeah, we traveled farther. That's for sure.
Well, we're going to travel farther now because neither one of us are working.
Yeah.
So we don't have to
honestly, guys, we're really looking forward to going. Like we were planning on going to Toma this year. Like next year, if we get out to Toma, we don't have to come home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can stay out there unless we grenade the tractor, but there's that. But
so Adam sent me pictures, and I those guys know like the haulers. We haven't talked about the haulers that they have.
Oh yeah.
This thing it hits me because they're putting a whole ass tractor behind the axle. It's like that wouldn't scale in Iowa.
Yeah.
But still, and he's like, oh, they've got air ride. They drop down. They don't even need ramps, but 4-inch ramps, whatever it is. But you guys could pull a motor home and just pull the stacker behind there. I'm just saying, you can come out west. It'll be fine.
Oh, yeah. We got a pretty good travel shit show now. I mean, that's pretty good.
We can do it. We just haven't been able to because
that was a problem. We'd be out in Michigan and right back to running points. And wherever Podunk, Michigan, the other side of Michigan, we had to run out on a Monday night for one hook because we were running for points. And we knew damn well it was going to rain.
We had to go anyway.
If you come out here, you better bring spares because we're gonna pothole the shit out of your trailers.
Oh, I know. There you go. Yeah.
Illinois. Iowa's not that bad, but Illinois, getting across Illinois, I'm sorry.
We found that out. We went to the Polish Championship last year. We crammed to get everything back together after she flopped it in Ocala. We get it all back together. We're going out there for a couple shakedown passes. So we're hauling ass across. I mean, we literally got the tractor back together a day before we threw it in the trailer. And we were hauling ass out there. We get out there, we drop the gate.
Everything's everywhere.
It was starter. We got our starter mount on the back of the wheeler.
That's what it was. I couldn't remember.
I remember that.
It was like,
So what you need to do is plan the route to go around Illinois, then come back in. It'll be fine.
Yeah, that was our first and worst experience with Illinois roads. But, and that's what I did for a living. Our company rehabilitates roads, and it's like, oh Jesus, this is awful.
Oh man!
But,
come to Iowa.
Hey,
I mean, they put new roads, and it's still rougher than the old one.
So is 80 good out past Cleveland? Because I got to go that way tomorrow.
Yeah, 80's not terrible at all.
Not terrible.
I mean,
is it not Michigan terrible? Let's go there.
It's not Michigan terrible.
Well, I mean, back to the Netherlands, their roads are good.
Yes.
With all these taxes people are paying, I couldn't find a pothole anywhere.
Yeah, the roads.
All right, that works. I got to go out to Thompson, Ohio, so tomorrow, so that'll be good.
We're very familiar with 80, that's for sure.
Yeah,
that's right. You're going to Coonley, aren't you?
I am going to Coonley's track tomorrow.
Yeah.
Nice.
But no, like I say, thanks for having us on. And anytime, our doors are always open, and you guys get out to the event we're at, certainly pull in. But I'd like to thank having Adam with us over there was like our own personal photographer, and him and Missy are awesome at what they do, and we really
they sure are
going. And everybody, we had Eric said to me on the bus going to the airport, he says, I will never be able to duplicate the awesomeness you guys brought to this event. He says, you're 31 people we had. He says, we're just awesome. And we had a good crew. And I was really appreciated you guys could go. And some of the pictures I actually threw down a little top secret project for Adam to help me with here coming up. And so it's like, it was pretty cool. But we were very, very happy that we had the people with us we had. So pretty
awesome.
It was just a life-altering experience.
We'll never forget it. We're still talking about it.
It really was, and it. How can you say that about a tractor pull? But
yes, you can.
Really,
you absolutely
can. It just wasn't a tractor pull.
There was more to it.
A huge event that a very, very diverse crowd came to, not just older folks, but a lot of younger folks. And that was the one thing that I did notice over there was the amount of younger generation coming to the poll. Now, whether they were there to go to the concert, because they did bring in some bigger known bands that are from
absolutely,
but they were still there for the tractor pull. They still walked right in front of the booth. They stopped over, took a look, took the time to talk, and just hopefully they made a big difference, and hopefully we gained a lot of fans because of it. And that's what it's about. I mean,
on my Facebook feed, I can tell you we did.
We did. I mean, it's going off of my Facebook feed, and I can look and see where everybody was looking from, and I'm like, I mean, there was a lot of people from the Netherlands commenting it. I'm like, holy cow! I mean, we had people walk up to us that they go to Bowling Green every year, and they're like, hey, it's cool to see you guys here, and it's kind of neat to see you guys on our turf, and then they're going to be going back over there for that, and they do
back over anytime.
Did they kind of like announce like your social media handles and like, hey, follow along and stuff, maybe?
Yeah,
that's fair. I'll take that. That's fair. You didn't know.
There was a lot of words, and then you would hear like spending their inheritance and a lot of words.
Unintelligible gibberish.
So yes,
you didn't have a radio with like a translate or sign language translator in front of you.
I would look over to Dennis or Jan or Stefan and be like, what did he just say? Yeah.
Well, interesting story, and it was actually quite funny. We were talking, and I don't even know where the poll was or what if they're pulling in Germany or where they're pulling, but they said that when everybody gets there and they're getting their tractors ready and they're drinking beer, and it's to the point where they breathalyze the competitors before they can hit the track.
That was interesting.
And it's to the point that he said in one particular class, there's 14 tractors in the class. He said, so 7 of them ended up not pulling at all.
They couldn't find it.
They start with the driver.
Even the driver was
and they go down through the list of everybody in the crew all the way down to the truck driver.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's so epic.
Yeah.
Nobody can drive.
That was great.
And he said, I believe it was Sasha that told us this.
Yeah.
He said for the promoter, it turns out to be a real situation. The promoter doesn't like it very much when there's 14 tractors in the class and only 7 of them.
Yeah, where are the other 7?
Dude, I'm not only going to the poll, I'm not just bringing my camera. I'm bringing my fire suit, my helmet. I'm gonna be ready for all this shit.
You might be in one of them. Yeah,
because
I told everybody I'm gonna be the only sober one there, and I'm gonna drive every damn vehicle.
Yeah.
Adam's gonna
worth of experience in one weekend.
Adam needs a support vehicle just to drive back and forth between the vehicles, and Dennis just commented something for, and I don't know what it is.
Exactly.
Oh, Dennis, you got to put that up there.
I'm not even going to try to pronounce that, and somebody else can, but I don't know
what.
So that's one of
there you
their
go.
things.
It means hooray, hooray.
Yeah.
Is that what that means?
Because they put
It's only
faces
taken
in
me
between
15
of that?
damn years to figure that out.
Yeah.
Yep. It's close to hooray. It's very close.
Dennis just said it's 4:27 in the a.m. in the Netherlands right now, and he is watching.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
Good grief, Dennis. Go to bed, man.
Let me copy that and start posting that and stuff and waiting for people to ask what that means.
Yeah.
Well, at least we saw the spelling of it.
Yeah,
exactly.
He sent it to me, so I have a copy of it. So the time we want to
it lives forever now. Like sidetrack never dies. So we've got it.
It was awesome.
All right. Well, hey, if Dennis, we need another translation. What is yumi? What is that all about? What does that mean?
Gosh.
Because Charles needs to start incorporating that into his announcing gig,
Hey,
as well as red pants. So he needs to be prepared for
that.
that.
This weekend I've already got to learn French. I mean, don't put too much pressure on me. Like, jeez.
So he just put the pronunciation under it.
That's the pronunciation. But what does it mean?
Jungie.
Sure. No, it's yumi.
We don't know.
I don't know. I'm
from the German guys, he just said.
Yeah. I have no idea what the hell that means.
Who the hell thought that this show is going to turn out to be such a multicultural
It's from the German
experience?
guys. Yeah. Okay. All right.
Hey, there we go. Boy, oh boy, oh. All right, here we go.
We need to get him on here sometime so he could actually say some of this stuff, because he's very fluent in both. So
you can do a live show.
So if I pop out of a cab of the Porsche 911 at Nürburgring and say that, I'm not going to get punched.
If you pop out of the cab of a Porsche 911 at Nürburgring, you're not getting punched by no matter what you say.
Oh, you will when you get home, because you didn't take us with you.
Well, too.
Hey, I already invited you guys to do a canyon carver weekend in Southern California, and no one wanted to take me up.
Wait.
Whoa,
you take that back.
That?
Was I sleeping or something? I don't think.
Yeah, there's
you
three of us on here. You did, unless you invite Mike and Mary. You didn't invite the three of us.
You know what? Scroll back, the three of you, and Mike and Mary. We're gonna go do it, because screw these guys.
I just want to say fuck you. So now it's a Don Salmo Crew show.
There we go. Now it's a Don show. We need a Don approved counter, and it just needs to be in the background so that we can.
I just want one of those buttons on the top of my desk to be Don Salmo approved at that moment, the no.
You go to Office Max and have them make you a stamp.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm gonna get one of those desk bells. It'll be checking into the Continental and John Wick. Ding.
Yeah.
But seriously, no, there's a whole atmosphere over there that they've created, and it doesn't matter. You take people from all over the atmosphere, and they have.
What? Who said it crashed it? Jeez.
Dennis, that atmosphere just left the chat.
If he does, Dennis, you have our permission, and we will thank you for it after it's done.
If I do it, I'm doing it at the carousel. Mark it down.
I want pictures.
Fair point.
I'll take pictures.
Has anybody have any of you guys ever gone onto YouTube and just typed in Nürburgring fails?
Yes, and I have now, by calling out my shot, have narrowed down the watch base to 3 people who even know where the fuck that is.
Yes. Well, Dennis knows. He's watching.
Dennis does.
Dennis knows what a 911 is too.
Red Flags podcast was talking about the Nürburgring. I'm in the middle of the episode. They're talking where the fuck happened to the Alpine team? They come in and they just left the chat. So, it's so great. But it was interesting. So now we're talking a whole different can of worms here. We're sorry, Mike and Mary.
Yeah, they're staring at the computer what the hell?
Mike's just happy he's got ice again.
Yes.
Mike, basically, we're talking about a sports car that you can't fit in, and neither can I, and neither can Adam, and Cody would be banging his head off the. All of us, Mary. This one's for you. Go out and buy yourself a 911.
I would fit in it. I would fit in it.
It's not a little sports car.
I'd fit in, but I'd crawl definitely the fuck out of that thing. It's so goddamn low to the ground.
Yeah,
like you just roll out and crawl.
She's got an M3 BMW convertible, and she had the Yukon today, and I had to take that into a lunch.
Game over.
Yeah.
Game
Mary,
over.
what year? What year, Mary?
I had to take it. What a shame.
06.
Ooh. So
What a drive once you hold yourself into the seat.
Is it? Would that be the? That'd have to be like an E92 then. V8 powered?
No.
Or inline six?
Six. It scoots.
Was there a generation after E46 that was inline?
I think so. E50 something, was it? I don't know.
Either way, M3 convertible?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I would have been happy to take it, except for I had to take my 80-year-old mom.
That's her story.
Who just had her hip replaced recently. If I could get her down in there, but getting her back up and out, she's a little lady, but still I'd have to yank her out. With the Yukon, she could get down and she could climb back in. So there was no hope to get her down into that car.
Just put a tow hook on the back of that thing and make it the support vehicle.
Yeah.
There we go.
It's all good. It's all good. You got plenty of people in this room right now who speak small German cars. So
Yeah. I like it.
I'm looking at 3 of them right now. Well, 2 of them.
Yeah, you got a few, and I've got one as well. So don't totally get it.
I just have the drool look on my face every time I see one, so it's fine. One of these days,
we're out of here. We're going to pull the chute, and you guys get them. I'll see you. Good luck at your ride and everything else.
Yeah, Tuesday this Saturday, I think we're on our way to $75,000.
Awesome.
Hell yes.
If anybody out there listen to this, throw some money at this guy. We support him.
Yes.
Excellent cause.
Hey,
Adam, can you throw the donation link? Throw that donation link in the comments. Throw it.
You'll have to copy and paste it because I'm not signed in.
That's fine. Send it to me. I'll put it up there. Yep. Please do that.
Adam.
Definitely good cause.
Sorry, jeez.
Put it in the private chat, and then he'll post it over.
Yeah,
I can get it. Hold, please. But yeah, everything. I'm at 44,658 raised on my own.
Awesome. That is awesome.
And with your guys' help, I shouldn't say on my own.
Well,
and then so I'm third overall right now. And
that's cool.
That's great.
Yeah, amazing.
We're gonna make you number 1, dude. This is a goal.
It's maybe some year. This year, I think the leader's got like 100.
Yeah, it's quite a gap there.
Wow.
Yeah,
Adam, that's no small feat, man. That's pretty damn good.
It's been amazing. I'll tell you that much right now.
Well, everybody, thanks. If you're out to an event, stop in and see us. We'd love to see you.
Thank you, guys.
Mary, appreciate you guys so much.
Yeah, thanks, man. Have a good night, guys. Take care.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you. See you guys later.
Bye.
That was sweet. I'm so glad we got to do that with it fresh on their minds, and having the Howell guys talk about the upcoming polls. I mean, that 3-day deal down there just sounds like a blast.
It's gonna be fun.
If we didn't have our big 2-day hook, because I missed the 2 hooks here already last weekend, so if we didn't have that, that'd be worth going down for sure.
I wish I could come out. I wish I could come out there and play with you guys at Langford. It just the schedule doesn't work again.
I don't know if I'm gonna even be there this year because we have 2 hooks that weekend too. So it's
just to come out and play with you guys in New York. You guys get down and you guys have a great show. What you do out there, and man, I want to come out there again. Just
it's on our Facebook Messenger. I couldn't put it on the other one, just so you know.
All right, got it. I'm on it.
So yeah, it's just. I mean, pulling here, I'm excited to get it underway. We had our 1 hook in Dansville here. We were a little light on numbers because a lot of guys are still waiting on parts and doing some transition stuff and crap like that. So our next hook, the 2 we had Shed, Ontario last weekend, and then Alexander Steam showing our numbers were better. And then this weekend, or 2 more weekends, we should be right back to where we were for the rest of the year. So it'll be nice. So
shedding seemed a little light. It
was a little light. Yeah. It just posted a bunch of them.
Yeah, I don't know if that works. Like, it's crazy. That's the copy of it.
So shedding was a little bit light, and it usually is because a lot of guys, it's a Friday, so they're working, and then they just can't get off of work and stuff like that. So sometimes it's a little tough. I kind of wish like shedding would do almost like a 2-day hook, so it would draw more people.
Well, it used to be like shedding was be Friday, and then where did they go on Saturday? Like, because Andrew and I used to go do that.
Dungannon.
Yeah. We would do shedding on Friday and Dungannon on Saturday, and
Dungannon was this weekend too.
Yes.
Yeah, it was a show.
Yeah. So that shedding track's always been amazing. That track is just so crazy,
unbelievable.
I don't know if I've seen
amazing
many tracks that bite as hard as that track does.
Few do. That place grabs your ass.
Yep.
Makes it happen.
Seen some monster passes on that track because the guys just net set up and nobody's catching them once they're gone. So it's kind of neat.
Logan Thomas was out there last time I went as a sled, and I don't know, we had probably 50, I want to say, hooks. It was crazy. It was great.
Yep. No, it's neat. I miss all them guys up there. I wish I could have been there, but I don't know if I will ever get this opportunity again. So I wanted to jump on it and take it.
100%.
I learned a lot. I just learned a lot. I got to hang out with the guys that I've been talking to and helping share their photos on my page for a number of years. And they're just all great guys, very humble, very, very good photographers, and even greater people. So couldn't have been happier with that outcome, just getting to meet everybody. So there is not a pull in Hamburg, New York anymore.
Yeah, appreciate the comments earlier, David. Thank you for that. But Hamburg is no more.
No more. I made the attempt to try and talk to them when I was a president of Empire State, just to get our local organization back in there, and they just they can just make money off the concerts now, and that's kind of the stream that they went down. I would love to get back in there and even just do a stock with the Western New York Pro field pullers, and just to even do a stock pull there, just to kind of get the foot in the door back again. But
isn't that wild though? Like, so my hometown fair here in Armada, same weekend as Bowling Green, and we had NTPA come in last year, and they didn't want to do it again for 2024 because of the money. It was too expensive to have them. But the concert is far and away the most expensive thing that happens in the arena that week every year. And I don't know who we got coming this year. It'll be somebody, but it'll be somebody you know. But it's astounding how much gets spent on that, and they don't want to spend the money on pulling yet. This is the second oldest continuous pull in the entire country.
Yeah.
And I can't make any headway there.
It's funny to me that people will pay $50 to $60 for a concert ticket, but they'll bitch about $20 for a tractable
or more. But
it's like, to go along with that, though, like this is the county fair. The people who are pulling in it are
your neighbors.
Your neighbors. They're your friends. They're people you know, and it gets people in the stands, and we still can't.
But that goes back to
I can't impress upon the fair board to make something happen here. It's just so frustrating.
Yeah,
that goes back to what level of show are you bringing? You know, if you had a Bowling Green, Mata, Toma, like if you had that.
Once upon a time, we had full. You can go to my YouTube page and see what it used to be. NTPA mods, NTPA Pro stocks, NTPA Super stocks. Not Ascension pull. That's what used to come here.
Right.
And they don't know.
What happened back then is they told, again, the four of us know this, they told the stories about the pullers, the events, and all that stuff. And they told a reason, and people wanted to go see that stuff. You know what I mean? Like they wanted they lived to go to that county fair to see that event because that's what they have been watching all year long. It's the same reason as like now concerts, and they show that stuff and they do that stuff, and it's builds. Now you have a show. Well, it's the same thing that we're trying to do from the four of us of here is we're trying to build and have an event because
I've had the conversation though, like what is it? And it's not insurance because up until this year we had K&K. It's not the storyteller because it's me. I don't know. I don't know why.
It's not just you. I don't mean to be calling you out in general, but it's the storytelling as a whole from the industry point where you're telling that story of every bit of tractor pulling to where it creates that excitement that, hey, I want to go see that at my local county fair. It may not be the same name as I've watched over here, but I want to see that. It's got to create that level of excitement. And that's where I'm saying is like, you know, the Bowling Green does that. They're behind the hooks, and they do, and Mata does the whole pre-video, post-video, all that stuff. Like they create that excitement. And like, I want to attend an event, and it may not be at that level, but it's at the level that like, I only have to go and pay X amount of dollars. I only have to drive 10 miles to get there, 20 miles, whatever it is, because it's that level of excitement that is created over here that now I've brought to here, and I can, you know, it may not be Monster Jam, but it's the local guy that has a 4-wheel drive truck driving over cars. I don't care.
Yep.
It is that aspect of the sport that is missing. And I think that's why we're losing spectators. You know, it is not brought to a level of you can take any motorsport you want, and I can show you exactly where some of that stuff is. Like they're doing fantastic and they're doing well. And if there's anything close to that, people want to be at it. So that's where I'm saying, like, as a pulling side of things, it needs, you know, and that's where social media has been doing great. Do social media as a team, as a sponsor, as anything, show that stuff because people watch it, and it creates that level of excitement that, you know, they may not be here, but it's close and I'm going to be here.
Yeah. So there's truth in that. And Ryan, Mountain City, like it's working for them, right?
Yep.
They're getting traction.
We'll find out tomorrow.
Yep.
Yeah. They're getting traction.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And the reason that they're getting traction is targeted marketing. You know, you can, and I know this because I know who's doing their marketing. It's not me. It's a friend of mine from Omaha. She runs a terrific marketing agency. They kick a whole bunch of ass. They have created marketing campaigns and put money behind them. It's not like this, you pay me X dollars and I'll do lives and I'll put, you know, your flyer up 840 times. And yes, I know this sounds like I'm throwing people under the bus. I really don't intend to, because that does help. It does help. But and I've said this before, if I'm in Northwest Missouri, I'm part of the audience or target audience for Mound City. But if you don't use a paid marketing campaign, this is how Facebook, this is how you pay to play now. If you don't use a campaign where you can actually tell it, don't show this to polling fans in Pennsylvania or Michigan, because you know what?
We don't care. We're not going.
Bingo.
Sorry. It's not that we don't like the event. We're just literally not getting.
That's where your geo.
We are not engaging with it.
Yep.
You got to think about this, and you got to think about, and you can't just cast the wide net and say, I want to display this ad to everybody from, an hour and a half drive of Mound City, and I want to show it to all of Omaha and all of Kansas City. You have to be able to target it more. You have to think like your fan think like a polling fan thinks. What do they like? Well, they might like the Kansas City Royals, but it's probably more likely that they like World of Outlaws, or they might like the Chiefs, and they like Duramax, they like Cummins, they like John Deere, they like Case IH, they like Agco. You got to build an audience. You got to build, some guidelines that marketing sits in. Otherwise, it's going to show it to suburban moms who don't give a rat's ass about tractor pulling, because you know what? I went to a tractor pull one time. I thought it was dumb. And I've got 4 kids in 3 different soccer leagues, and I need to be 3 different places on Saturday. I don't give a shit about this tractor pull. Why?
They're
is this on my
driving.
feed?
They're driving the white.
They're Toyota World. He doesn't give a fuck about 5 miles per hour.
Right.
They're driving the white SUVs, not the black ones. Let's be honest.
Whatever.
But the matter of the fact is, like, you get all these and you plot them on a map, and
Cody,
they
show me on the doll where it hurt you.
What?
Show me on the doll where it hurt you.
But you plot all these on a map and overlay them, like, that's the thing is, like, you take all that targeted marketing and you've got this circle and that circle and they overlap, and you start getting that from every single organization, from an event, from a sponsor, like all that stuff, and it starts, it snowballs. Honestly, from an industry standpoint, we do better at marketing, we do better at telling that, like, we would all do better.
Yeah.
So
and let me once again be very, very clear. 5 years ago, you know what we talked about? What the hell's the address to the poll? It's not on the flyer. We have actually made some progress. Virginia Slims, you've come a long way, baby.
I still see that getting done wrong, though.
I know. I do too, once in a while.
I'll see a flyer and go, where the fuck is this thing?
Right. And normally, if we know the promoters, one of the 4 of us is going to holler at them and say, hey, retract that flyer. Put the address on it.
Yep.
But I mean,
today
we have made progress, but marketing has progressed faster, and it's not enough to just.
And to be honest, like, you cut out Ryan, but to be honest, I see that in drag racing still. They post the drag racing. They post the drag racing track. There's no address.
No.
I mean, honestly, I was.
Well, that's because there's no prep. You're not supposed to know where it is.
Well, yeah.
No, hold your mouth. No, hold your mouth. This was at the MoCon Dragway, which is an established event, and they had this event, and I was like, okay, what's the address? Nope, doesn't exist.
The no prep thing. Go fuck yourselves, because just die. Just die.
Okay, just eat.
Just die.
Charles, throw some Cheetos at the screen, turn your screen off, wipe it down, and you can come back on, and you'll be fine.
But that's what I'm saying is, like, but it doesn't have to be a no prep race. Like, this is an established race. Like, they've got, like, I mean, sponsored all this stuff, but the problem is, like, it doesn't have the address on there.
Yep.
So I go to the event page. Nope, no address. Do you know I had to go to Google Maps to find the address to that page, like, to where the drag race is? Because I was like, well, I'm coming back from Bentonville, Arkansas. I'll just swing through there on the way. Problem is, the race was canceled, but still, I went through the legwork of trying to figure out where the hell that race was, because there was no address on there. So
now
I get that.
Thank you for throwing all of the positives that I tried to bring about under the bus because of one race that did something stupid. But
I know, but I'm just saying, like, give the details on the page. And I understand there are some events that have 500 sponsors, and kudos to them. But in 12 PowerPoint font at the bottom, put the address. That's all I'm asking.
But no, we have made progress. 5 years ago, 7 years ago, we were all using Facebook. We were all putting up pictures and doing our thing and yada, yada, yada. And you didn't see an awful lot of promotion for events. So we have made progress. We have to make more. And we have to, and instead of the buckshot approach, it's got to be a rifle target. You got to identify a target market and you have to go after it. And you got to pay to do it. You can't do it with, I'm sorry, you can't do it with organic social because you cannot target it enough. Believe me, I've tried. I manage this stuff for a living. It's real hard to do it.
Yep.
So, I mean,
shotgun rocket doesn't work. Oh,
and to Ryan's point, there's a level of Facebook thinks they know your target audience. They don't.
Not like you got to give them something to go on.
Yeah, no, they don't. Like,
I will tell you,
especially in tractor pulling, they don't. I mean,
hey, wait, stop. I created an audience the other day for an ad for an auction. Tractor pulling and the NTPA and Bowling Green, and they are all attributes now in the audience builder.
They are. That's good because last time I was doing that, it wasn't.
No, you're right. It wasn't.
Create a custom audience. If you're going to sponsor and don't let us be very clear. Don't hit the boost post button. Go in and create a custom ad and create your custom audience and do those different levels. It's going to take longer, yes, but your results are going to amplify whatever the boost post button is going to do.
And
I promise you that.
And there's now let's also be clear. There's a lot of fair boards and a lot of promoters who, the second you said create a custom, right over their heads and out the window. And that's fine. Just hire somebody who understands
that's why.
Or ask questions. Or ask questions. That's the simplest thing. Ask questions. We're willing to help you.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's got to be at this point. It's got to be a pay to play thing, and it's been that way for 4 years. It ain't getting any easier. You know, if you throw out, if you just put out a shotgun blast approach and you don't target your market, people in Pensacola, Florida may see it because at some point in time, you took a family trip down there and went and ate at a restaurant. And so Facebook thinks, well, I'm going to show that he went to Pensacola. There must be somebody there who likes what this guy's doing. I'm going to show it. You know what?
Do it.
Nobody in Pensacola is coming to Mount City, and I'm not throwing Chris under the bus. I'm just using him as an example.
There's a good liquor store down there, by the way. In case
do it and get paid for your expertise. But when it comes to sidetracked, we are not going to monetize you.
No.
So there's that.
No. But we're going to require you to pay us up front. There will be no monetization.
No.
You have to pay us up front.
But
we don't do trails.
My point of that was just ask questions. If you have questions like, "Hey, I want to sponsor a post," ask questions. Like we're willing to help you for your event to succeed because that's the goal. We want events to succeed at every level.
And this is 100% legit. This is not us.
A sales job.
This isn't a sales job at all. But
no.
There are good ways to do it, and there are great ways to do it. Some of us have experience with some of them that work. We're happy to help. We will say, I will say this without asking these guys. One of the promoters that we had on the show recently, we made a deal with. Sure, you can come on the show. And he asked, well, what's it going to cost me? I said, nothing to us. And I gave him the link to Adams to Roswell.
Yep.
Is this any better? Hang on.
Yep.
Let me just, it's trying to connect to my router.
You're good. You're good. This is how we roll.
So he asked, "What's this going to cost me?" And I said, "It's not going to cost you anything. You don't have to pay me or sidetrack anything." And I gave him the link to Adam's Ride for Roswell page.
Yep.
We're going to keep that. We're going to find a way. Adam's going to twist arms of nurses and doctors and whoever the hell in Buffalo to get like some sort of a permanent link where you can continue to donate to Adam's campaign. And if you want to be, if you want to talk about this stuff or something like that, we may send you that link.
Yep.
We don't care if you donate $1 or $1,000 or $25,000. If you do $25,000, we really want to know.
Yeah.
But that's how we do this.
Yeah.
And we're happy to help. We're happy to share. So
100%. We're behind Adam and wanting to make that happen.
Started today.
Yeah. How did it go, Adam?
Oh, it hurt like hell.
Did it?
Yeah, it wasn't fun. Yeah. Liquid Benadryl. Liquid Benadryl. That stuff hits pretty good. I mean, I dozed off pretty quick, probably in 5 minutes. So
nice.
Yeah, it's definitely a little bit different. And I thought it was only 3 months. It's actually going to be a year. So we got a ways to go.
All the more reason we're about our boy.
Yeah.
I mean, and they'll look at the numbers, and once they start tailing down, they could alter it a little bit and stuff like that. So,
folks, do us a favor if you're still watching.
Yeah.
Hit that link. Throw $5 in there, please.
Yeah. No, today was not a fun day by any means, but you got to do what you got to do to keep going, keep pushing. Ain't gonna stop now. So
that's right.
We want.
All right, my wife is standing in the driveway in bare feet with her hands on her hips. What the hell are you doing? And why have you been doing it this way for an hour? So I'm gonna sign off and I'm gonna go see my wife because I haven't seen her since like 6:15 this morning.
I'm pretty much spent pretty much too. I was there almost a day today. So
we can stick a fork on this one. Thank you, Adam, for your fortitude to keep going with us tonight and share your story.
Yeah, anytime anybody wants me to go to Maid, I'll go.
Good.
Pick me.
Now
you're going to have three extra passes next time.
Yep. No,
that's you will be made much healthier if you get your ass off this call and go to bed.
Yeah.
Go to bed. We're here for you, dude.
Cool. Well,
later on, guys. Cody, see you tomorrow.
See you guys.
Right.
Thanks, guys. Love you.